Yeah. So this is a package name. So now I'm creating one more package. So abstract, and because it's a keyword, so it's saying it's giving an issue. So let me remove that one by adding abstract one. So now I'm creating one class. So the class name is test, and so now I have created one class. So the class name is test, and the package name is so com dot examples dot something dot abstract one. So this is the package name I am using. So now I am having a class with test. So how to write a one method. So public organize and close, and here I am providing something, and I am writing one more method. So with zero implementations. So yeah, this also I have done. So if I am having a method without any implementation, so public byte m3. You don't have any implementations. So so if you look into this class, so this is a class test and which is containing three methods. One is a method with one, so it's with implementation, some implementation, and it's without any implementation. If you look into this method m2, it's also one method, so it won't have any implementation. So it's empty implementation. M2 is, and if you look into this m3, it won't have any implementation. So that's why you declare it as. So now we are getting a compilation issue. So what it's saying, change that m3 as an abstract. So I have changed that method m3 as abstract. So if you are, so now if you look into this, still now, so control Z. So till now it's showing issue for m3 only. We don't have any issue for this class. So because this method m3 method don't have any body, so it's that's why we are getting a compilation error. So if you look into this, it's giving some suggestions. Change the method to abstract method. So next, so I have changed the method to abstract method. Now we are getting the issue with the class. Now change the class as abstract. So now no compilation issues. And so here you are having two normal methods, one abstract method. So the abstract method don't have any implementation. So it don't have any body, only its method declaration is there. So who is going to implement this method m3? Because here m2, this one and m1 methods are already implemented. And if this m3 method is don't have any implementation, that's why we are declaring this method m3 as like this. So if you don't have any method declaration for a particular method, so we need to make it as abstract method. So if your class contains at least one abstract method, then you should make your class as abstract. So that's why I make it as abstract. And let me create one more class. And main method also I'm writing, which will contain main method. Can you create object for a abstract class? No. If you're trying to create object for this test is equal new. So here see we are getting some compilation error because for abstract class we can't create an object, cannot instantiate.
What is the reason behind like why we cannot create an object?
See, because it contains abstract methods, right? See,
Yes.
the abstract class is containing two non-abstract methods, one abstract method. So if your
Yes.
class contains abstract method, so your class should be declared as abstract. So if you are declaring a class as abstract, for abstract classes, we can't create an object. So now, how to create the object for this class? So then you need to implement this method, abstract method. Then only you will able to create the object for that particular class. So here I am having test2. So if it's class, right? So class will extend another class. Implement this one. See, now add unimplemented method. So M3 is unimplemented, right? So now I have implemented those things. So now for this class, I will be able to create the object. Once again. So now I will able to create the object for this class. Now you are not getting any compilation issues, right? So for abstract classes, you will not be able to create the object. That is one of the concept of your Java. So if you are saying a class has abstract class, then it should contain at least one abstract method. So see here. So test is containing one abstract method. So abstract method means a method which don't have any body. So that is called abstract method. So if your class is containing abstract, right? So we need to make that class as abstract class. It's not an ordinary class. So that's why I made it as abstract class. Now who is going to provide the implementation for this class? So the class who is implementing this class. So here test2 is extending this class. So we need to implement some implementation for this test3. If you are not implementing any implementation, then you need to make this class also abstract. But here we have provided some implementation. So what's the implementation we have provided? The empty implementation we have provided. Just open this and close this. Now this class is not abstract class. So now you can able to create the object for this class and you will able to access the all the methods of that class. So this is the use of abstract class. Any questions?
No question. Thank you.
So assume if I'm having a one more abstract method. So now let's see. So how to declare abstract method? So at the end you need to specify semicolon and your abstract method won't have any body. So the class which is extending this class needs to implement these methods. So if you go to this test2, see here we are implementing only one method. And if you are not implementing the fourth method, so third method we have included. If you are not going to implement this fourth method. So what you need to do is you need to make this class as abstract. This is also abstract. And if so, who is going to implement this method? So if you are having a class test3, so test3 is extending test2. So test in test3, if we are going to implement test4, then for test3 you need to create the object. Or else, if you want to make it as ordinary class, so implement the unimplemented method. Test4 also you need to implement. Then only your class is called as ordinary class. For ordinary class only you will able to create the object. Now test2 is the ordinary class. So for that's why we are creating the object for this test2 class. So this is a example. So if you are not implementing this code, then again your test2 is a abstract class. So for your test2, you can't able to create object. So create one more class test3 and extend your test3, sorry, test2 in that test3 and implement unimplemented methods in that class. Then you will able to create the object for test3 here. So you have to it. Now you will able to access all the methods. M1, M2, M3, M4. You will able to access all those methods. So for abstract methods, you can't able to create the object. So this is abstract class, right? Because it's containing two abstract methods. For abstract methods, you can't able to create the object. Cannot instantiate the type of the type test. So this is the issue we are getting because why you are not unable to create the object means because your test class is an abstract class. That's why we are not able to going to create the object. That's the reason. So if you implement these methods, then only you will able to create the object. So in which class we are implementing these two methods, unimplemented methods, abstract methods. So in test2. So now your test2 is not a abstract class. So for this test2, you can able to create the object. And here we are providing only what you are doing. Just we are providing the empty implementations for M3 and M4. Yeah, if you, so this is the use of empty implementation. If you don't know the business logic and some other user is going to provide the functionality, so then you just override that method by adding open brace and close brace. This is called empty implementation. And with that, you will able to suppose these are the functionality you have written, and these two are going to written by some other developer. Then how to test this one? So if you won't provide any implementation for this, then your class will be abstract class. And if it's abstract class, you can't able to create the object for that, and you can't able to test these two methods. So for that, what we have done is extend that class in another class and provide the default implementations for that class, those methods, abstract method, test3 and test4. And you can able to create the object in main class and you will able to call your method. So what is your method? So M1 and M2, right? So here you will able to test your methods. Test the So you will able to test your code. Whatever the code you have written, you can able to test by providing the default implementation or empty implementation for other methods. So that is the use of default or empty implementations used in your methods. If you don't know how to implement those things, or if you are not going to implement those particular methods, just provide the empty implementation for time being. And after that, you can provide your implementations. So that is the use of default implementation or empty implementation. So this is about your abstract class. And now we are going to interfaces. So how to create an interface? Go to this package, new interface. So here you need to provide, okay, let me change the package name, new interface. Interface demo is the package name. So the name of interface is test. Okay, test and so if you look into the class, so how the class will look like public, so ordinary class, public class, class name. The same way, if you look into this public interface, interface name. The same way your interface will look like public interface test. So your interface will by default contains public abstract methods. So if you won't keep also your Java compiler will add that before your method. So why? So if you look at this, so my interface contains two methods, M1 and M2. Both are abstract methods. So how you are able to say it's abstract method? Because it won't have any implementation for these methods. So that's why uh, your interface will contain by default so if you want to add, you can add. If you don't, so and
So interface is default, by default it's an abstract class, right?
yeah,
Abstract.
abstract. So here you no need to add anything. So abstract is spelling issue. So let me so public abstract. So all the methods are abstract, right? So again, you no need to specify it's abstract method. So no need to specify it's abstract. So your at the compilation time only your Java compiler will add that public abstract before your method. When you are looking why if you look into this abstract class, why you are adding public abstract before an abstract method means because your abstract class will contains abstract and non-abstract and static methods also. That's why you distinguish between those methods. So this is the ordinary method and assume this is static method. And this is abstract method. So to distinguish between the methods, so we are adding public abstract. But when it comes to interface, interface contains only abstract methods. No other methods will be available in interface. So that's why you no need to specify anything before the method. So by default, if you are declaring a method in your interface, it's by default public abstract. So now I am writing one more class. So it is an interface. So see, here it will says it's an interface I. So now create a one class. So how to create? So right click, new test one. So this is a class and this is an interface. So if it's an interface, so what is the keyword we need? So class will implement interface. If you are extending that if you are implementing that interface, so see your class. So here we are getting with the class name, you are getting the compilation issues because your interface is containing two abstract methods, and whoever the class which is implementing your interface should implement those methods. So that's why it's asking add the unimplemented methods or make your class as abstract. So either you make your class as abstract or provide the implementation for unimplemented methods. So what are the methods present in your interface? So these are the two methods, right? Unimplemented methods. So this is an empty implementation. So here, if you want to implement your own functionality, then write some business logic here.
So this one is a default implementation, right?
Yeah, default implementation or empty implementation, whatever you say, it's
Okay.
choose.
Mhm.
So if you want to implement something, so write your business logic. So that is the use of your interface. So here I am giving something. It's out. So in YAML. So how to run this? So again, you need to write a main class. New, so which contains main. So till what you have done is, so first we have created an interface. So how to create the interface? So here, go to that package name. So new interface. So give the name to the interface. So it will create public interface, and this is the name of your interface. And your interface is containing two methods. So by default, all the methods of interface are public abstract, and all the methods in your interface won't have any body. Only you will have a declaration. That's if so all the methods of your interface won't have any body. Just they will have a declaration. So we have declared a method m1 and declared m2. So who is going to provide the implementation for that methods? So the class which is implementing your interface. So which class? Test1 is a class which is implementing your interface test. So here we have provided some implementation. So if you want to run, so how to run? Create object for this. That you need to call those methods. So m1 and m2. Or else you create a reference to your interface. It's not working, so it works in Spring only. So auto concept. So here it's not working. Okay. So this is the use. So first create an interface. So interface will contain all abstract methods only. And those methods we need to implement in a class. So here we are implementing those methods in some class for test. So this is interface, and in the test one we are implementing your test. And here I am creating object for test class. So because your test class is only implementing your interface, right? And we are able to, and one more thing is we are calling those methods. And in the same way, so if you are declaring a method as abstract, so for abstract class, we can't able to create the object. And for abstract class, we can able to create the constructors. So probably,
Oh, so abstract class, we can create the constructor,
yeah, we can create the constructor.
but like for interface, we cannot create, right?
Yeah, yeah. For interface, we can't create an object. See, for
Inter-
interfaces. So
yeah, but
interface, we can't create the object as well as we can't create a constructor.
oh, hold on 1 second. So abstract class, you cannot create an object, and also for interface, you cannot create an object.
Yeah,
Okay, both of them you cannot create object, but for abstract class, you can create an constructor, and for interface, you cannot create an constructor.
yeah,
All right, thank you.
yeah. So this is a basic difference. So what's the basic difference between abstract class and interface means abstract class will contain non-abstract and abstract methods. But when it comes to interface, all the methods are by default public abstract. For abstract class, you can't able to create an object, but we'll able to create the constructor. And when it comes to interface, you can't able to create the object and as well as the constructor for your interface. So these are the basic differences between your abstract class and interface. So here you can't able to create the constructor because it's not a class. So that's why you are getting the compilation error. Interface can't have constructors, but abstract class will contain constructors. For abstract class, we can't able to create the object. In the same way, for interfaces also, you can't create any object. So how to, for which class you need to create the object then? So the class which is implementing your interface or the class which is implementing your abstract class. For those classes, you can able to create the object. So this is the difference between your abstract class and interface. So any doubts? So if you are good, then we'll go for
Yeah, like I was trying to explore more. So what is like uppercasting and downcasting? Like, yeah, downcasting in OOPS concept.
see.
Topcasting, downcasting.
Yeah, we are having different data types, right?
Yeah, string and int.
Yeah,
Okay.
string is not a data type; it's a class. So,
So,
if you are
so
saying,
oh, basically like top casting means like from integer to like float. You wanna typecast that like that kind of thing.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
so
And downcasting from low to high, right?
yeah, see if I'm having a float, yeah, is about 20.98 Azure. So float f is equal to 20.7. So yeah, so why we are getting means because we are writing outside the method. That's why it's giving some conversion. So here I need to write. For time being, I am rewriting here. So if I'm typecasting this into int k is equal to 20.98. So what will happen? So this is of 8 byte and this is of 4 byte. So integer is of type 4 byte. So what will be the output if I print k, print of k? So what will be the output? Because 4 bytes only, right? So you lost the some data. So 20 only you will be going to get. This is lower casting. So higher data type to lower data type. Float to integer. Float will occupy 8 bytes of memory and int will occupy only 4 bytes of memory. So 4 bytes means for the first two. So you are going to lose some data. But in the same way, suppose int k is equal to 20. And if I am passing this value, float f is equal to, if I am saying k. So if I print f, what will the output will get? So 20.00 will be the output. And here you need to do explicitly typecasting because it's of type float. So float to int you need to convert. So this is that you are casting one data type to another data type. If you are casting from higher data types to lower data types, you will lose some data. So from float to, if I am converting into integer, so you are going to lose this data. And if you are converting from higher to lower, sorry, from lower to higher, then it will add 0.00 at the end because your integer is of type 4 bytes only. So first 4 bytes will be going to activate this, but and your float is going to provide 8 bytes. So first 4 bytes is for integer value and next 4 bytes is for floating. So that's why 20.00 will be the output. Any questions?
No, 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 yeah, I got it. Thank you. So basically, like from int to double, it's a top casting,
Yeah.
and from int to float is a down casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to have a one example means here I will write the code.
Okay, sure.
So let me, for timing, I'm commenting this. So now here I'm having int I is equal to 20. Now, so assume double d is equal to I. I'm assigning the 20 to d. So sys out d. So if we look into this, the output, let me run this. See, it's 20.00. The output is because it's 4 bytes and it's 8 bytes. First 4 bytes will be going to occupied by integer value, and after that 0 will be your floating value. Assume here, assume again double d is equal to double t1 is equal to 30.98. And now I want to convert this into integer. So int, so already we used I, right? So int k is equal to what I'm doing, I am passing the values to. So now you will get the compilation issue. So cast it to int or make it as double. So now I want to store these values to double, right? I am typecasting it into integer type. So what I'm doing is I'm converting the d to integer type. So let me run. So the output is 30 only. So if you are converting from higher data types to lower data types, you will lose the data. So we lost this 0.998, we lost the value because your int occupies only 4 bytes of memory. So it can be able to accommodate only the 30 value and it cannot be able to accommodate after the point value. So that's why we are losing some data. So this is called numeric promotion and numeric demotion, or numeric increment or numeric decrement.
Thank you.
So yeah, with respect to interfaces, any doubts do you have? So or else we'll go to this encapsulation principles.
No doubts. Thank you very much. It was really good. And let's continue with the encapsulation.
Yeah. So now we will discuss about encapsulation. So one of the other concept of your OOPS is encapsulation. So the basic principles of OOPS is inherency, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So let me discuss about encapsulation. So till now we discussed about abstraction. So how you will achieve the abstraction in your Java by using abstract classes and by interfaces. So now we will need to discuss about encapsulation. So fourth one is encapsulation. Encapsulation is nothing but so binding your code and data is called encapsulation. Or encapsulation. Binding your code and your data. So how you will do that? So I will show you now. Simple. So we will discuss here itself. So what is the use of this encapsulation? You will able to understand when you are doing this JSPs and servlets. So let me explain for now. Hmm, So first understand this concept. We will discuss in detail later. I have created one class with encapsulation example. So what is the use of encapsulation? So the basic meaning of encapsulation is it's nothing but binding of data with code. And why you need using encapsulation to provide the security to your data. So what is data? So assume I'm having so this concept you will understand when you are working with some JSP pages code. Then only you will be able to understand in clear way. So encapsulation means so what is the data? So I'm having three variables. So if I'm writing some student class, so I'm having student ID, student name, student address. So first thing is int student ID. So your variable's name should start with small letter, student ID. And student name. So it's a type string. So student address. Assume I'm having these three fields. And now I want to provide the security to these three fields. So how you will provide the security? So we need to provide. So this is student ID is a variable name and its return type is of type integer. And if you are looking to this line number 9, so the variable name is student name and its return type is of string and address is also string. So how to provide the security? So if you want to provide security, so you need to use access modifiers. So if you are talking about access modifiers, what are the access modifiers in Java?
So basically with access modifier, you can like bind or secure your.
Yeah, you can able to provide the security to your code. So access modifiers. So first is public, second one is private, and third one is protected, and fourth one is default. Default. So these are the access modifiers. So what are the use of access modifiers? To provide some security to your data. So private is the most secure and public is most accessible. Access modifiers. So now I want to provide the security to my data. Yeah, how to provide the security? So providing access modifiers. So I want to provide some security to my data. So the toughest to secure access modifier is private. If you are specifying private, uh, yeah, let me, before this we will discuss, then only you will able to understand. Let me remove these things for time being. Copy here. So now assume this is my class, my ordinary class. So now I am having two methods. One is m1 open brace and close brace, and another one is I am having m2 method. So it's of type byte, return type is byte, and for this also the return type is byte. And the access modifier for this method m1 is public, and the access modifier is await here. So here open brace and close brace. Now I am providing some implementation for this. This is m2. So now how to access these methods? So I am creating one main method. So if you look into this, so let me close other classes. So see, so this is my package, and here I have created one class and which contains two methods m1 and m2, and m1 access modifier is public and m2 access modifier is private. So I want to access these methods. So how to access? So create object for this class. So this is object name, right? So your object name should start with small letter. Now see dot. So how many methods you are able to see? Only one method. Yeah, one only. And if you are declaring a variable or a method as a private, so you can't able to access this method outside this class. So if I'm declaring private, int I is equal to 20 and public k is equal to 30. So see, here I am having two variables. One is private variable and another is public variable. Same way, I am having public method and private method. So if you are declaring any variable or a method as a private, so you can't access those methods and those variables outside a class. See, M1 is a public. Let me save this class. So K is a public and M1 is a public and I is private and M2 is a private. So if you go to this class, see, so here you are able to access only M1 and K method. K is a variable and M1 is a method. So only you will able to access these things only. Not I. Sorry, K. These are the only things you will able to access. Other methods. So I is a private and M2 is a private. So if you are declaring a method or a variable as a private, so you can't access those methods outside a class. So what is the use of it? Then what is the use of private? So if you want to provide restrictions for a particular method and you don't want to access this method outside a class, then make this method as a private. Same way, if you don't want to access a particular method or a particular variable outside a class, then make that variable as private. So you can't able to access. So then what is the use? Then you can able to access this method within the class. Few methods I don't want to expose those methods outside a class. Then make those method as a private. So private methods will be used within the class.
So, like for private method, like what's the difference between setters and getters?
Yeah, I'm coming that one.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So if you are good with these things, then we will go for that. So
Got it.
you got this thing, right? So
Yeah, public is like accessible to anywhere, and
yeah,
private is more like secure within the
secure
class. You can
within the
access.
class only. And so if you are not able to access these methods outside the class, then what is the use of private? So you will be able to access those methods within the class. So within the class and within the public methods. So this is public method, right? You can able to access this in public. So, and the same way with the variable also. Now, next we will discuss about protected and all those things. So let me remove this code for timing. Let me remove this one. So what is our code? So these are the things, right? Now I want to provide security to my data. So how you provide? By using private. So private is a more secure. So now I want to access these variables to perform some operations. So let me create the object. Done. You won't get anything. So these are the object class methods. So we are able to access these variables? No, because these are private, right? So the scope of this variable is within the class only. That's why we are unable to perform any operations on these variables. So how to access these variables and how to perform some operations on these variables? So by using public methods. How to generate setters and getters? So here you need to generate triplex setters, sorry, setter triplex methods, getter triplex methods. That's unity create. So and the access modifier is public. So with this public methods, you will able to perform some operations on your this data. So this is called encapsulation. So we will discuss this in detail when you are working with servlets. So now I need to create a public methods to perform some operations on this method. So how to generate? So go to source, select all the variables. So source, generate getters and setters. Select all. See, for student ID, we have generated public method, setter method, and getter method. See, first is getter and second is setter. And if you look into this setter method is containing one argument. The scope of this method, scope of this variable is within the class. And why we are using this keyword, those things we will discuss when you are discussing about in the next session we will discuss. So at the time again I will explain about this encapsulation. So now if you want to perform some operations on the data, so how you will perform operations by using public method. So if I want to perform some operations on the student ID, so it's a private, right? It's overly restricted outside a class. So to perform some operations, so your Java is providing your encapsulation with the OOPS encapsulation principles. Your Java is providing the public method for your student data. These are the two public methods to perform some operations on your private variable. So, set. You want to set something, set here ID. So it's an integer. So like that, you can able to perform some operations on your private variables. So what is the use of this encapsulation is to provide security to your data by using private access modifiers. So you can set some value to your, so if you are declaring some private, your data type as a private, you can't able to access outside a class. But I want to perform some operations on your this data type. So how you will able to do that? By using public set triplex and public set, sorry, public get triplex method. So by using set, you will able to set the value. See, here I am setting the value, and by using get, I will able to get the value. Get. So here I am setting, and here I am setting. So if I run this, see, this is the value. So here we have set it, and here we are getting. But in our application, we are doing both the things in same class. But in real-time scenario, we'll set the values in one layer and we'll get the values in another layer. So where the values are storing. So in this variable only, we are indirectly storing. And this variable will not be able to access outside this class. So in this way, your Java is providing security to your data. So this is called as encapsulation. So we will discuss this in detail in next few sessions. So this is about your OOPS concepts. So if you have any doubts, we'll discuss. So, and what is the use of this keyword and how it is performing these operations? I will explain you. We are discussing about next session. We'll discuss about this and super and final and all those keywords only we are going to discuss. Now we will discuss about access modifiers. So we are in between, right? So that we will discuss. So public, private, protected, those things now we have discussed. So if you have any doubts, please let me know so that we can discuss.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Thank you.
Yeah. So now we will go for this access modifiers now again. So again I get them right. Yeah. So these are the four access modifiers. So let me write one more. See, I will explain these things encapsulation again in when you are working with JSP servlets and other frameworks or Spring Boot. That time I will explain you, but this time please understand that encapsulation is nothing but binding your data with your code. This is your code and this is your data. And by using encapsulation, you will provide security to your data. So how you will provide the security? By using private variables. So if you are declaring a variable or a method as private, you can't able to access outside a class. So how you will perform some operations on the data? By using public methods. So this is the basic principle of encapsulation. So let me create one more folder. So one more package class access managers. Manifest demo. And test class I'm creating. So and one more class is test demo, which we can test manually. So first thing, I am declaring a public method. Public void yum. So let me create one more package. Access one. This is test, right? So let me create one more class, test one. And let me create one more package, test demo one. See, if you look into my this one, so I have created two packages. So one is access modifier demo one and access modifier demo. Okay, and it's access modifier demo one containing test one class. Your access modifier demo contains test class, and this is main method. Now, yeah, now I'm having a one public method. So this is out in yum1. Yes. Now, so if you are declaring a method as a public, you will be able to access that method within the package. So this is your package or outside a package. So if you look into this, your test class, so test one class is outside a package, right? Your test is presented in one package. This is my package, but your test one class is outside my package. So this is my package, but test one is presented in another package. So it is in access modifier demo one package. So if you are declaring a one method as a public, so you will be able to access that method within the package or outside a package. So let me within the package. So within the package means in other classes. So main method, right? Hmm. So this is within the package only. Both are presented in same package. test and main demo both are presented in same package. Test start number. So it's a public method. You will be able to access within the package in other classes, and test one is a class which is presented outside your package. So how to access this one? Outside a package also you will be able to access. So resume. Here I am having method m2, which is so in this method I want to access my public method. So how you will able to access? So create the object for your class. Control shift. So because your test class is presented in okay. Test is presented in these many packages. Sir. So from which package you want to read? So from this package I want to read, right? So access modifier demo. So control shift O because both presented in different packages, right? So that's why. So now I have imported that class. And so if you declare a one method as a public, so if you can able to access that public method within the package and outside a package also. So this is outside a package because this is your main. So public method is presented in access modifier demo one, and I am accessing that in public access modifier demo one. So public means it's will be able to access anywhere. So if I'm declaring one method as private, one, two. So oh my. So M2 is a private method. So private, if you are declaring a method as private, so the scope of this method is within the class only. Within the class only. You can't able to access that class outside a class within the same package also. So both are presented in same package, right? Your class and your main class both are presented in same package. See, both are presented in same package, test and testing. So then also you won't be able to access private methods outside a class. What is my private method name? So M2 dot M2. You can't able to access. So if you are declaring a variable or a method as a private, the scope of the method or a variable is within the class only. So if you are declaring a variable or a method as a public, then you will be able to access anywhere within the package or outside a package. And now we are declaring as default. So what is the use default? If you are not specific, so this is private. So now I am writing M3. Right. If you won't specify any return type, then it's called default. So M3. So now this M1 method is of type public and M2 method is of type private and M3. So here do you have specified any access modifier? No. If you are not specifying any access modifier, by default it's default. So you don't need to specify anything. So if you are specifying it, if you are not specifying any access modifier, then it's called default tag. It will add, your Java compiler will add default access modifier to that particular method. That method and variable. So that particular method is able. So default access modifier is also called as package access modifiers. So if you are declaring a method as defined, so that method is able to
What was that
access.
default one calls?
Sorry,
What was the default access modifier calls? Package something you said?
yeah. If you are not specifying any access modifier for a particular method, so your Java compiler is going to add default access modifier. So if you are that accessibility of default access method is within that package only. Within this package, you can able to access that method anywhere. You can't access that method outside a package. See, so same package, right? So both are in same package. This is in so test is in package access first name, and your main method is also presented in same method. Okay. Yeah, you will able to access them because both the classes test and test demo presented in same package. But if you go to the test one, which is presented in another package, will you able to access this method? You can't able to access. So if you are not specifying any access modifier for a particular method or a variable, so that will be default. So your Java compiler at compile time, it will provide default access modifiers for that particular method. So if it's a default access modifier, then the method or a variable will be able to access within the particular package. And one more thing is protected. Okay. Yeah. So if you are declaring a method or a variable as a protected access modifier, then that method is going able to access that method within the package. See, the method name is input, right? It's a protected method. So you will able to access that method within the package, as well as you will be able to access outside the package also. But there should be a relation between this class and this class. Then only you will be able to access. So what relation you should have? So extend the relation you should have. So if I'm now we don't have any relation. So can I able to access that method? Test.m4. We are not able to access. Only m1 public method. How to get the relation? So extends. Extends test. So it should be superclass and subclass. So which object you need to create now? So this class object you need to create outside this class, then you will able to access that method. So I will show you that also. So now we are having a superclass and subclass relation, right? See, if you are declaring a method as a protected, then that method will be able to access within the package. So within the package means within the package, all classes will be able to access. And outside package also you will be able to access. So this class is outside package, right? Your test one is outside package. So outside packages also will be able to access that protected method. But there should be a relation between this class, test class, and the outside class, test one class. So how to get the relation? By using extends. Extend. extends the test class. So now you will be able to access that method. For that, what you need to do is write one main class and create the object for subclass. So then you will be able to access. So let me do that also. So here also I am creating one main demo class demo. Your class name should starts with caps. So for which class you need to create the object. So for subclass. Let's change this. Okay, we will look into this one later. Tomorrow I will explain. So something is went wrong. So protected means we outside package also we will be able to access, but there should be some relation between these two classes. So I have added that one, but the public class test and this is superclass and this is subclass. So that also I have done, but I am unable to access that one. I am unable to get this functionality in that method. So I will explain tomorrow. So any doubts till now?
No doubts. Thank you.
Yeah. I will upload this video also by in next 2 hours.
Sure. So
And
this video and the other
yeah,
last week's.
others. Yeah, last three and this one four.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And tomorrow we will discuss this one. Okay, protected methods.
So tomorrow 7:30 as well, right?
Yeah, same time.
All
That's
right. Thank you. I'll wait for you. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.